Big news. Yeah.
Right, speaking of big news and results, October Red Boxing, and I'm back with this foursome that I really like having.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Welcome, Spencer Oliver, Savage Dan, Dogwork, and Johnny Nelson. Right, there's one thing. Thank you. Thank you. Do you like?
Why today, boy? He is.
Anyway, back to boxing.
Everything. I think it's just all between. You know when you've got that thing in your head and you're just like, no, I am better than I thought I was, or I am this good. I think it just gives you get like a times 10 out of it.
Self-belief is a massive thing in boxing, you know, like if you can get the most talented fighter that doesn't believe in himself, it's not going to carry him anywhere, you know, and you get a guy that just believes in himself, and like this game is 20% physical, 80% mental, and that psychological thing kicks in. If you don't believe you're that good, when you get into them latter rounds and the fight's getting tough, you start doubting yourself. Now, Johnny comes from the Ingle gym. These guys, Brendan really invented this psychological thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Brendan was all about that. Brendan was all about the mind.
Richard probably needs to suffer the things that he most doubts, such as a knockdown, to get up from it, such as a fight, a distant fight where he's gassed through when he gets through it. Because once he's done it, it's like, shit, I've fallen off the horse. I can do this now. But it's the fear of it happening and the unknown. So
Well, there you go, guys. If there's any ex-boxers out there that are thinking about getting into sports psychology and offering fighters support,
call me 590 590.
thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Thank you.
That was good.
Yeah, I've been about your head, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Really? Nah.
Testing. Is the volume all right? So one number 3, where it's turned into, where the lights on. Testing. Is that all right? Yeah.
Wow. Well, and that's big news.
Big news. Yeah.
Right, speaking of big news and results, October Red Boxing, and I'm back with this foursome that I really like having.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Welcome, Spencer Oliver, Savage Dan, Dogwork, and Johnny Nelson. Good to have you back, gentlemen.
Paying attention as usual. I'm here. I'm in the room.
He's in the room, but he's always on his phone. Anyway.
Yeah, he is. Ask him what's on there.
What do you think he's got on his phone?
I know what he's got on his phone.
Boxing. Just put boxing, mate. Anyway.
Right, we're going to talk about this card. A nice stat card from Boxer Sky Sports. I'm going to go to Chris Congo and FORMELLA. Your thoughts on that fight, and I'm going to go to you first, Savage.
I like that fight. I think FORMELLA is perfect for Chris Congo, if I'm totally honest. I think Chris will not box his head off, but I think he will be too sharp, too fast, too young for him. He might stop him. And seeing as no one's really talked about it, I think we're going to see a late stoppage.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's a big shout. You know, Sean Porter, the only 2 fights that FORMELLA's lost is Sean Porter and Conor Benn. Conor Benn more recently, and Conor couldn't get the job done, and we've seen the form that Conor's in now, so it would be a big statement for Chris. You know, I know Chris said there in the press conference, yeah, listen, I don't care how I win, points, it is what he'll want to make a statement. That's what fighters do. Chris Congo's on a good run at the moment. It's all about making a statement. I think Formella's 35 years of age now. He knows how to hustle his way through and knows how to fiddle his way through fights. I just think that Congo's going to push on late and he's going to be trying for that stoppage, but I think he'll run out a clear points winner. I think that Formella has got that experience and that boxing know-how, that boxing IQ to tie him up when he needs to tie him up, stay out of trouble. So I'm going to go for Congo, a clear points win, and it'll be a good win for him because Formella's a good fighter.
I think that's probably potential to be fight of the night. That one or the what's the other one? The CHELLI fight. For Congo, I think. Listen, it could be an upset, without a doubt. This is his chance to prove that I'm not just your average domestic fighter. I'm a step above that. And again, with Formella losing only twice, what statement can he make? Can he outbox him? Which I think that's what he'll end up doing. It'll be a tough points win. To get a stoppage would be great. But I think it'll be a tough night for him. Trust me. But he's got to shine. He's got to shine to say, look, I'm above and beyond this.
I think it's a really tough fight, and I think Formella, I think we should give him a little bit more credit going into this fight because of his experience and because who he's faced before. That experience is priceless. No disrespect to obviously Chris Congo and his ability and the fact that he's at the younger scale coming through. Yeah. But I really think Formella is a dangerous opponent for him.
I think I don't know if he's in danger of losing Chris Congo. I think the only danger is that he might not look so good. I rate Formella, I do, but when he steps up, he does get beat, you know, and can you give me many other of his opponents? Probably not. So my thing is that he's going to make Chris work, but the Chris we saw last time out was a very good Chris, and that was a Chris after a long time out of the ring. I think we're going to see a better one.
I think, yeah, listen, I think that Chris, at this stage of his career, he's only lost the one fight. And at this stage of his career, 29 years of age, he now needs to know he needs to get the ball by the horns. He needs to go out there. He needs to make that statement. He needs to showcase his skills at the highest level. Formella's a perfect opponent for him. Brilliant matchmaking. 35 years of age, great name. Only lost to the best on points, but could be the time, you know, like it could be the time where it all comes apart for him. So I just think that that's a great bit of matchmaking. It could really, you know, it could really elevate Congo. You know, if he makes a statement, it could really. It's a great move. I agree with Dan, by the way, that Sorry for agreeing with you. But I agree. Yeah, I agree with Dan that I think that I don't see Congo losing the fight. It's just it's the manner of how he wins it.
And that's what I mean. Sometimes when you go in against them tough opponents, it can really make you look horrible and ugly in there. And it can really...
Formella to do that. Yeah. He's got the ability, he's got the boxing IQ, he's got the boxing know-how to make him look bad. He done that against Conor Benn a couple of times. You know, Ben was looking frustrated, sometimes a little one-dimensional. Conor didn't get a good report after that fight.
When you look at Conor Benn's style, he's not the tallest of welters. And he's quite an intense. He kind of wants to smash you to pieces. It's probably a little bit easier for Formella to deal with than a sharpshooter who's 6'1" or whatever Chris Congo is. Yeah. He's going to keep you long. So I've got a feeling he might frustrate him, then break his heart, and then stop him.
You're on form today. You're on form.
I'll tell you what, he's as sharp as he's so sharp.
It's nice when you don't go out at night, isn't it? Yeah. It's nice when you don't. You're good, man. Yeah.
And on that note, let's move on to Zach Chelli, Jermaine Brown, a title.
Great fight.
English title fight.
Chelli
Give us your...
Brown. These boys have got history. They're familiar from the amateur days, from the gym days. Chelli, speaking to him, you sense that he thinks, I've got his number. Always had his number in the gym, had his number in the amateurs. This is a done deal. It's a bigger deal to you than it is to us. Brown unbeaten. Brown's thinking, I'm not a boy anymore. I'm a man. Let me see that shit again. So now, this fight's on. I do believe Chelli's more intense, aggressive, naturally stronger. Brown has got to really stamp his authority to say, respect me. He's got to hit him and hurt him hard. Brown's not the biggest of bangers, which is a problem. And so I think Chelli will probably boss him. But his problem will be complacency if he gets turned over. If he's complacent, thinks, I've got this fight done, Brad will do him. And it will absolutely, he'll be pissed off because he knows he has the beating of Brown. And that's where the issue is. But again, another contender for fight of the night. I think this might be that one,
Yeah.
rather than the other one.
Yeah.
Go on, you can.
No, you're on form.
Yeah.
Oh, they're arguing.
I think it's closer than anybody thinks.
Yep.
I think the things that Jermaine Brown does well, you can't even really see it. He just makes really good decisions.
Yeah.
Goes just when you're about to go, he's gone already. He's done it already. He's thrown his jab. I think his timing can potentially upset Jack, who I think even though he's strong, he's a bull and he's a bully. He does telegraph, he does show his shots maybe a little bit more than Jermaine Brown does.
Okay.
So I think Jermaine might try and be first and third, and I see a wow where Jermaine looks good, and then perhaps Zach Chelli starts to turn the screw and get on top of him.
Yes, high risk, high reward for both of these guys. Crossroads fight. You know, the winner will probably get a shot at Lennox Clark, who's the British and Commonwealth champion. So, you know, there's a lot on the line here. But in a real 50-50 fight, we can make a case for both of these guys. Jermaine Brown has that O. And when you've got the O, that gives you a little extra something, you know. And he's got something to prove here. Like, Zach Chelli's boxed on this platform before. You know, Jermaine Brown, he wants that opportunity to sort of showcase his skills a little bit. This is a big opportunity for him, a huge opportunity, and he's super confident. Zach Chelli's always confident. You know, he's just one of those characters that you put him in with anybody, he'll be confident going in. Chelli's give up his daytime job as a teacher. You know, you've got to take all these things into consideration. Yeah, he's quit the daytime job.
He jacked it in.
Yeah.
Why?
Were you not listening to the press conference?
I thought that was just talk, man.
No, he's jacked it in. He's jacked it in because he recognises that this fight is the coming of age fight. This fight is the crossroads fight. Lose here, tough to come back for both of these guys. Win here, you are in their mix, baby. British, Commonwealth.
Well, maybe I wouldn't have announced it till after this fight.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Imagine
Wow.
all the kids are at home now crying. My teacher's left. He's done.
You know,
Oh, no, he hasn't. He's back.
he must have told them before, no?
Yeah.
Listen,
No, I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't know. I never went to school, so.
Right, I'm going to move on to the headline. Yes, there are other fights that we could talk about, but I want to talk about Richard RIAKPORHE, Fabio Turchi. One of the things that I noticed first was the massive size difference. Talk to me about that.
RIAKPORHE's huge he's a heavyweight in a cruiserweight's body anyway. He's massive for the weight. He's 6'5". Yeah, he's 6'5". Thanks, man. Thanks, bro. I'm glad you did that because I've been bumping him up. He ain't thrown no compliments at anyone yet. Well, this time, I think you're a great interviewer, by the way. And woo! All right. That's long. So yeah, back to that. RIAKPORHE, 6'5", massive frame. I think he will develop into a heavyweight. I think he wins a world title at cruiserweight. I don't know where that is. I don't know if it's this in IBF Eliminator for Marius Bradis' fight. I don't know where Bradis is going, what he's planning to do, but this is the Eliminator. We know that Boxer are in talks and Ben Shalom are in talks with Makabu, who's a WBC champion. And I think that fight is possibly the fight that can happen next. And probably the best fight, Makabu, 39 years of age. People that don't know Makabu, he lost to Tony Bellew in 3 rounds, got KO'd at Goodison Park. Wow, I'm flying, baby.
You are on fire.
He didn't even take a breath.
Do you know what?
That's not like you, is it?
You know what? I didn't take a breath, and you know when you don't breathe, you start sweating a little bit. You know what I mean? You break a sweat a little. You know about that?
No,
You don't know about that?
no, because I always take a breath.
Oh.
Anyway,
Anyway, back to the boxing.
Back to
I'll
boxing.
let you have the, I'll let you have the rest from there.
Yeah, I just think
I
Rich
left you
is
the
gonna have
crumbs.
too much.
I left you the crumbs.
I've got watch how I dig out. Watch how I dig out. I think it's a perfect time to fight Turkey. He's good, but he's pretty basic.
he likes to
but
headbutt though.
Look, having sparred Dion Juma for this camp as well,
Yep.
and that says a lot about Rich's character.
Yes, it does.
I like that because you've just fought him, but put your differences aside. I need you for sparring for this fight, and I think, it's good sparring because there's not too many cruiserweight sparring partners. There's not enough out there really. I see Rich stopping him inside 8. He is tough.
Yeah.
But I do think it doesn't really matter how tough you are. You can't really stand up to that power when it hits you clean. Nothing you can do about it.
So I think so. Turchi's a southpaw. I think southpaws are made for Richard RIAKPORHE. His style, his size, and everything. He can make the most unorthodox southpaw look average because of that dangerous right hand that's there. You don't take a chance moving into it. So he's going to make any southpaw, as in Turchi, think twice about the moves he does. I think Turchi, he can punch. His experience, his confidence. He knows that he's number 11 in the IBF. So he's ahead, he's higher than Richard is in regards to the ratings. So like Richard, he has dreams of fighting for the world title. Like Richard, he's also being promised a world title shot. But now this fight is on, Richard needs to make sure he's on point because, and don't even compare to anything else, I think I've got to get this job done. The problem is with Bradis, with Magabu, with even the Coley. French guy, the other champion, I can't remember his name. They need to fight Richard now before Richard understands how good he really is. At the moment, he doesn't. He didn't realise how good he really is, and he's successful. So all of a sudden, when this kid has the confidence to match the ability and the experience as well, which is 2 or 3 fights down the line, he'll be unbeatable. So if I was Brades, I'd look back and take that voluntary defence against Richard, because that's what it'll be. It won't be a mandatory. If I was Makabu, I'd say, you know what, I'd do that. I'd actually box Bradis over Makabu personally, because Makabu's probably more experienced, a bit more crafty, a bit more wily. Whereas Bradis, size-wise, Richard should be able to blast through him. So if Bradis leaves it too long, Richard will definitely be in. At the moment, Bradis fights him now. It's like, shit, this is a tough fight for you, boy. And then that's how he's got to look at it. But I expect him to win. I expect him to win inside the distance because Turchi will walk into that right hand lead.
But you talk about that, and finally, before we close this off, you know what? Can you check and see if that's not on? Because if that's on 25 minutes, yeah, it's going to switch off. Yeah, please. All right, yeah, wrap it up. Right, there's one thing. Thank you. Thank you. Do you like?
Quiet today, boy.
He is.
Anyway, back to boxing.
Yes.
Something that you've mentioned, and I don't know what your thoughts are on it, about Richard not really being confident in his skill. Now, you've boxed before, you all have. I'm the odd one out here. What does it mean?
Everything. I think it's just all between. You know when you've got that thing in your head and you're just like, no, I am better than I thought I was, or I am this good. I think it just gives you get like a times 10 out of it.
Self-belief is a massive thing in boxing, you know, like if you can get the most talented fighter that doesn't believe in himself, it's not going to carry him anywhere, you know, and you get a guy that just believes in himself, and like this game is 20% physical, 80% mental, and that psychological thing kicks in. If you don't believe you're that good, when you get into them latter rounds and the fight's getting tough, you start doubting yourself. Now, Johnny comes from the Ingle gym. These guys, Brendan really invented this psychological thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Brendan was all about that. Brendan was all about the mind as opposed to the physical attributes. And, you know, and that's what Richard needs to, like, physically, he's got it. He's got all the tools in the locker. He's got, like, the right hand, he hits like a heavyweight. He's got the long levers. He's got the good movement. He's got a better boxing IQ than a lot of people give him credit for. But he didn't have the self-belief. He didn't have the confidence. And I think that's what's coming out in him now. I think that's why we're seeing a turning in the tide with Richard. Do you remember the days when he boxed? Was Sam Hyde? Was that his name?
Yeah.
When the shots, no, but he was like, do you know what I mean? He was blinking. I think there was a lack of belief there in him there.
Like AJ, he doesn't have that pedigree from being a kid into boxing. He's picked it up late, so therefore he's going to say novice things.
Right, okay.
So, but if you look at the achievements that he and AJ have achieved, you think, bloody hell, these guys have actually done really well to say how little you'll know.
Okay.
In regards to what you could do for Richard probably needs to suffer the things that he most doubts, such as a knockdown, to get up from it, such as a fight, a distant fight where he's gassed through when he gets through it. Because once he's done it, it's like, shit, I've fallen off the horse, I can do this now. But it's the fear of it happening and the unknown. So you've got to pop your cherry and then think, I can do that.
A lot of fighters, I'm hearing reports that AJ's brought in sports psychologists and stuff like that. I don't think we see enough boxers with sports psychologists.
agree.
Considering it is such a taxing and mental sport.
That sports psychologist should come in the shape of fighters that have been there and done that. Because because there's no point in getting. Yes, I understand. Like if you've got an athletics coach, or some guy that's just come out of university and he's giving all the words and he's giving it, but if it's more plausible, believable, or achievable if somebody that's actually done it actually said, "Yo, listen." But you've just got to find the words that they're understanding.
I'm not sure how it works qualification-wise, but I remember Froch saying that he had the same kind of issues in terms of not having the best belief in himself, and then he got a sports psychologist, and it just changed everything.
Yeah. I think what Johnny's saying is, and I agree. I think that the best confidence you could get from somebody is somebody that's been there and someone that's got it, and then they can tell you how they overcome their fears and how they've done. Do you know what I mean? That's psychology. Like sports psychologists are great when you're doing so. When you're in this combat sport, this gladiatorial sport, you get belief in. If the geezer's been there and he's seen it and he's done it, like you remember when you were younger and you were looking up to your peers, and when you're younger and you're looking at your peers, and they tell you saying, "Fucking, you just take it in, man. You soak it in." But you're just like, it goes in because you know they've been there. Does that make sense?
Take it on board from someone that's never done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to a lot of horse shows and you see these young kids arguing with their mum saying, "Go on, jump it really high," and then like the kids are arguing back like the big people. What do you know? I'm having a proper argument. So what I'm saying is that's because they haven't done it. So in sport, if you've got someone that's done it and they are to explain to you, "Listen, this works, that works," that's where the respect comes through, and that's why in our sport we need that. And so why don't you saying AJ might have somebody in? I know he's got somebody that's been in the camp, that's been in and around fighters and fight camps and big fights. And that's the best. You need storytellers. You need people that can give you examples of and give you a story of what's happened behind the scenes in situations. Then in doing that, it makes all the difference with any fighter.
Well, there you go, guys. If there's any ex-boxers out there that are thinking about getting into sports psychology and offering fighters support,
Call me 590 590.
thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Thank you.
That was good.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.